Right now, a newly published book on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is reportedly pulling in over $900,000 a month. The marketing claims behind this are incredibly specific. They point to a 39-page book published just a few weeks ago in the psychological thriller niche that is allegedly earning almost $16,000 every single month. The product taking credit for opening up this opportunity is a $27 AI tool called the Psychological Thriller Royalties Bot. But if we look at this split-screen visualization, the reality becomes obvious. On the left is that massive $900,000 marketing claim. On the right is the standard flattened bell curve of actual beginner KDP earnings, which usually sit in the lower hundreds. That massive gap leaves us with a decision to make. We need to figure out if this $27 tool actually accelerates a real publishing business, or it's a deceptive marketing trap aimed at vulnerable beginners. Under the hood, this bot is a custom ChatGPT interface. The creators loaded it with nearly 8,000 characters of specialized prompts specifically engineered to write thriller novels. They targeted the psychological thriller niche for a very practical reason. Readers in this category devour books quickly and will reliably buy back-to-back novels from the same author. The core promise here is that you can have zero genre knowledge, answer a few conversation starters, and let the AI fully structure and draft the book for you. To do this, the tool uses a 4-phase system. This flowchart outlines the process. You start with an initial prompt to pick your format and pen name. Then it generates a story bible with characters and plot twists before moving into chapter drafting. As the flowchart expands to the final phase, it generates the assets needed to publish: your Amazon description, KDP keywords, and a DALL-E-generated book cover. So mechanically, the value proposition is simple. You pay to eliminate the intimidation of staring at a blank screen and compress months of structural planning into a single afternoon session. The immediate advantage here is raw speed. By following the bot's prompts, you can generate a 13,000-word first draft in just a few hours. Traditionally, outlining, drafting, and finishing a self-published novel takes a writer anywhere from 6 to 12 agonizing months. But speed introduces a trade-off. In this AI KDP trade-off matrix, the 4-phase drafting gets you a single afternoon draft, but risks producing AI slop. Raw, unedited bot outputs have repetitive cadences and lack the emotional nuance a paying reader expects. To make this process work, you have to take the hundreds of hours you saved on initial drafting and reallocate them to back-end human editing. If you blindly upload that unedited AI text to Amazon, human readers will notice. They will leave 1-star reviews, and those negative renames will permanently kill the book's algorithmic ranking. The bot successfully buys you early momentum, but human quality control is the mandatory price of admission if you actually want to sell copies. To help mitigate that robotic feel, the bot relies on its Story Bible feature. Before it writes a single paragraph, it maps out the protagonist's blind spots, the antagonist's motives, and exactly where the clues will be planted. It then manages the pacing by strictly rotating through 3 distinct chapter structures to keep the reader off balance. Structure A sets up a deceptively normal opening, then ends on a specific, unsettling detail that shouldn't be there. Structure B forces a high-tension confrontation, specifically designed to make the main character appear unreliable to the reader. Structure C creates a quiet domestic moment, letting a sinister threat build in the background, while the protagonist rationalizes it away. Mapping this to our trade-off matrix, the bot's pacing templates provide a genre-accurate structure, but the trade-off is creative confinement. Relying entirely on pre-programmed templates means losing the ability to experiment with groundbreaking new narrative shifts. You are explicitly trading unique, original artistry for structural safety and guaranteed compliance with what thriller readers expect. That brings us back to the explosive $909,000 a month marketing claims pushing this product. Legally and practically, those figures represent the absolute extreme upper limit of the market. They are outlier events, not the baseline reality for a new publisher. The actual financial mechanics of Kindle Direct Publishing require building a wide, sustainable catalog of books under an anonymous pen name. Success comes from repeat buyers, not from banking on a single viral hit. Pulling up the trade-off matrix once more, The input of Amazon KDP Publishing yields a compounding royalty asset, but the trade-off is a slow burn reality. Real KDP income requires consistent volume and patience as you release book after book. If you want true profitability from this tool, you have to treat it as an assembly line for long-term catalog building. We have to decide if the bot's grounded capabilities actually justify that $27 launch price. To figure out exactly who should invest in this, let's look at this scenario match scorecard featuring 3 distinct user profiles. First is the KDP veteran. If you already publish in other genres and want to rapidly launch a thriller pen name to diversify your income, this tool is a definite buy. Second is the willing editor. If you are a beginner who understands that the AI is purely a co-writer and you are prepared to manually polish the output, this is also a buy. But if you are the passive income dreamer, someone expecting a hands-off, push-button path to $1 million without doing any quality control, this is a hard pass. At $27, this bot is a highly leveraged, affordable cure for writer's block that can consistently structure a competent thriller. But it will only generate real royalties if the human behind the screen actually does the work to make the book worth reading.